Self-perception. So over my time in sales, not just as a freight broker, but over my time in sales doing many different things, including personal training packages, security systems, copiers, printers, whatever, even cars. There's one thing that can destroy a career or somebody even starting off to make it into a career, and that is self-perception of whatever it is that they're selling. So whenever we talk about sales and you think of a salesman, there's such a big negative connotation when it comes to sales, right? Oh, sleazy salesman, trying to sell me on this, he's trying to sell me on this, scam, whatever, right? Overpriced maybe. There's just no trust because you're trying to take their money essentially, right? You're trying to say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you a service or a product, and in return, I want some dollars. But they don't know you at all, and so there's no trust there. And so that makes it really, really hard to do your job if you don't believe in you either. And so I'm going to start off right now and just say, if you are doing a job right now in sales and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, it might just be you. It might be your perception of yourself and of your job. I actually see it a lot where people that I've hired come in and for months and months, they actually look at themselves in the same way that some customers look at them as well. That negative connotation of them being something that just is, nagging or wanting something for nothing or something like that. You have to get rid of that. Absolutely have to get rid of that. And so it makes it a lot easier to not have those that feeling, right? If what you're offering is a necessity that the customer is going to be using anyway. So in logistics, for us, they're using brokers, maybe they're working directly with a carrier, but the shipment has to go, right? And so we should never feel like a burden to this customer. We shouldn't feel like we're trying to talk them into something. We're not talking them into anything. We're not selling them the idea of using brokers if they use 5 or 6 brokers already, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. If we're not talking them into the idea of shipping freight, they are shipping their freight. They need to get their goods out. It is our job to show them what we can offer, whether it be our network, our customer service, our attention to detail, our experience in the field, whatever we can showcase to that customer to say, hey, listen, you can trust me. I have a lot of experience in this. I have a great team around me. I work for a great business. Here's my background. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm great at customer service. I can get you updates on time, promptly, email, however you want. You need to prove to them on the phone that you are somebody that they actually want to work with while on the phone, which is incredibly difficult to do. But in logistics, it's not just sales. And so this is something very, very important that everybody here at League needs to get through their head. You are not a pest. You are offering something that they're going to use regardless. All you want to do is for them to use you. And you don't even want to cost them any more money. You don't want to come in at a higher price. You'll even match prices if that's what it takes to get there. What you want to do is portray to the customer that you are someone that they want to work with. And so why this is different than a lot of industries where you sell a car and then you never work with a person again, imagine an industry where you buy a car and then you have to go to that person to get the oil changed and to get a tune-up every year or every 6 months or every month. And in logistics, it's every day, right? They might have shipments every single day. And so if I was buying a car and I knew that I had to work with the salesman on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis, I would want to buy that car from someone that I felt had good customer service and can do the service side of the job just as well as they could do the sales side. Maybe even more important for the customer service. So the sales in logistics and freight brokerage is more about persistence. It's more of a numbers game and making sure that you're organized and keep going and going through your tasks and making sure that you hold yourself accountable to hitting those numbers, because eventually, as long as you are believing in yourself and that what you have to offer is worth it and that you are a better customer service rep than whoever they're currently using, because honestly, right now, in my mind, customer service is more important than sales when it comes to freight brokering, but you have to be able to sell your customer service. So if everybody else is selling, hey, we have X amount of trucks or this or that, that's great. You could do that too, but you need to sell you, because the customer on the other end of the line, even though they may care about the company that you work with because they might have had a bad experience with them in the past, or maybe they've just never heard of them, which could be a plus or minus. I don't think that's ever a negative thing really, as long as they haven't heard anything negative about them. Then they are thinking, I have to work with this person every single day. Do I feel like working with this person? Because the person that you're talking to that's going to be tendering out the freight to you is really thinking, how easy is my life going to be? Is this person going to make my life harder? it's not even their money, to be honest, but they need to make sure that they're holding, brokers accountable and getting all the bids and probably giving it to the cheapest person or somebody that they can count on if they haven't used that cheapest person. A lot of customers won't go with the cheapest price. They'll go somewhere in the middle because they know that service will falter because obviously it's a supply and demand market. If there are not enough trucks or if the trucks are getting paid a little bit more, they want to make sure that they're securing those trucks and they're not going to somebody else that's paying just a little bit more money. Not all customers, it just depends. It depends on how urgent that load is. What I'm trying to leave you at, or with rather, today is know that what you were selling here at League is service. Customer service. It's your service. It's the business's service. And it is vital that you understand that is the number one benefit that we can offer. Because brokerages, a lot are the same for customers. Now, there's a lot of brokerages that are better for brokers, and there's a lot of sales points there. But when it comes to, what brokerage is right for a customer, a lot of them are pretty much the same. We get our trucks from the same places. We grow our network over time. And so any company that has a decent network, good credit history, anything like that, is going to be able to compete with even the biggest of brokerages. That's not an issue. To a customer, it all matters you. So get that through your head. And I guess the real question is, what do you think of yourself? Do you look at yourself and think, I'm annoying? I'm trying to be sleazy and trying to talk a customer? Do you feel like you're overselling because you have to talk somebody into doing something? That's a huge problem. And if that is something that you're doing, you need to address it and you need to think about it to yourself and say, hey, obviously I'm not happy with what I'm doing. Maybe number one, how do I fix it? Or do I get out? How do I fix it or do I get out? And you should make up your mind on that pretty quick because you don't want to waste too much time in an industry that you're never going to be comfortable with. You're better off just getting out now and going doing something else that you are comfortable with and that you think that you actually add value to whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're selling. It doesn't matter. But don't waste any more time. If you can look at this though and think, am I offering something that is a necessity? You are. In this field, you are. Not in every field, but in logistics, as a freight broker, you are. It's a necessity that their shipment goes from point A to point B. Do I think that I am the best person to handle their freight? If the answer is no, it's no. Go find something else. Do you think that you're the best customer service rep? Do you think that you're going to do the job? Do you have the confidence in yourself to be able to organize your day and execute on each one of your tasks and update your customers quickly? And do you think that you're somebody that they can count on if there's a fallout? Do you think that you're somebody that they can count on for a last minute truck? Are you the go-to? And so those are all questions that you really need to ask yourself. But I promise you that what we offer here at League is a necessity. It will be used with or without you. The customer will move that freight with or without you.